Well, everyone, we've done it. 2020 has finally, unequivocally ended after this video finishes. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Any arguments should be directed to our complaints department. While we're in the interim, why don't we at Nintendad give out our Game of the Year awards?
These awards are prestigious, sought after, and not based on how crunchy, laggy, and buggy your game is. Rather, they are a matter of opinion, experience, and having just enough time between when your children go to sleep and when they wake up crying to interrupt our playtime to finish them.
But what awards will Nintendad be giving out to 2020's pile of games? Indie Darling. This award is given to the indie game that surprised, impressed us even, gracing our short existence with its own. The one indie game above all others that only fills us with joy for the future of gaming, possibly the future as a whole.
Biggest surprise. This award goes to the game, event, or announcement that caught us the most by surprise. The unpredictable and most award-worthy thing to happen this year in gaming.
Biggest disappointment. This award, possibly the one we're most begrudging to call an award, goes to the game, event, or announcement wrought with the least amount of excitement and the most amount of stupidity. Thinking about it just makes us roll our eyes a little harder.
Best Co-op. This award goes to the game that contained the best co-op play. The game that showed 2 or more players not only proves to be the best amount of team members, but the most fun as well. Grab a friend for these and prepare for a great time.
Best Family Game. Oh, this award is given to the game that the whole family can get in on and have fun with. A game that brings gamers together from all generations and may introduce some new players to gaming.
Best Port/Remaster. This award goes to the game that best recaptured those feelings of nostalgia and awe we felt when we played the original versions of these games. These games work hard and it shows.
Most anticipated 2021 event. This award goes out to the game, event, or announcement that 2021 holds for us gamers. What are your hopes for gaming in 2021? Find out what Nintendad thinks with this award.
Finally, Game of the Year 2020. This is the game that, above all others, was the best. Best gameplay, best story, best elements combined into truly the best experience 2020's games can provide. Simply, the best. Because I wrote this, I get to pick the first award we give out. Let's start with the best Port/Remaster. 2020 was full of ports and remasters that really helped fill the time between major releases. From Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated to the rivals of Aetherport, there were many reminders that nostalgia will always cloud our judgment when buying games. Let's just get to this year's contenders voted on by our team of Nintendad specialists. We have the Bioshock Collection, the XCOM Collection, Fortnite, Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered, and Pikmin 3 Remastered. As much as I'd love to present this award myself, I have a pizza in the oven. Instead, here's Nintendad's own Kieran to present the award for Best Port/Remaster of 2020.
Careful, it's hot.
Ah, it's hot!
I just warned you!
Son of a b-
Why does Bioshock, the collection, deserve Best Port Remaster in a year full of ports and remasters on the Nintendo Switch? Simply put, it's a phenomenal collection of 3 great games, all the DLC included. It's a game that deserves to be on a Nintendo system. When it released decades and decades and decades and decades and decades ago, it wasn't deemed suitable for the Nintendo Wii U due to commercial reasons. So instead, with the Nintendo Switch being the behemoth that it is, the time finally has arrived for Bioshock to claim its place amongst the top tier titles available on the Nintendo Switch. The Bioshock Trilogy is a set of games that tells great in-depth stories with twists along the way, and not only that, it's a great FPS too. While the first one's a little dated perhaps, Bioshock 2, along with its top tier phenomenal sublime DLC Minerva's Den, takes things to the next level and represents a more modern first-person shooter, and Bioshock Infinite is up there with one of the greatest games I have played. Together, they culminate into the complete package and do the justice to the word Port Remaster. Well, that's 2 words, but you know what I mean. But the point is, they're fucking great games. The frame rate on all of the games is solid, and more importantly perhaps, the audio hasn't been compressed, so you really get that eerie atmospheric feel when you're playing the games with a good set of headphones. So, congratulations to Bioshock the Collection from 2K Games for being Nintendad's Port Remaster of the Year 2020.
Well, James uses a phoenix down on his tongue. Let's move on to the next award. Our next award goes out to the best co-op game of 2020. With the world stuck at home, co-op games have never been more important, and a large amount of them released this year. So grab your kid, your friend, your sibling, or your racist uncle, and sit a reasonable distance away from each other to enjoy this award. Our contenders are Good Job, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, the Super Mario Galaxy port in 3D All-Stars, Fortnite, Pikmin 3 Remastered, and Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. To present this award, we've asked another Nintendad member to hand it out. Anna, take it away.
No, bring it back. You're supposed to present that.
We're crash landing on planet PNF 404 for this award. Local co-op is the crowning jewel of Pikmin 3 Deluxe's new offerings. This short and sweet Wii U underdog can now be enjoyed on your Switch with a player or two along for the ride from beginning to end. Sharing the main storyline with someone else is a treat. Plus, as a port of a sequel, newbies to the series might be hesitant to pick the game up at all without an experienced planetary explorer to guide them along. Aside from the main story, having a second human to help delegate tasks between Alf, Brittany, and Charlie is a huge help in achieving a perfect platinum score. Once you've tried split-screen Pikmin 3 for yourself, it really feels like this is how the game was meant to be played all along.
Before we send our family members back to the crypts where they crawled from,
Where they belong!
let's give out our Best Family Game Award. Even socially distanced family members are still important as they provide much-needed roles in games. The younger brother is the meat shield, the confused father acts as the brick to hold doors open, and the overzealous mother doesn't know how to jump and keeps wasting our lives. Everyone has their role to play. Speaking of playing, it's time to give out the award. 2020's contenders for Best Family Game are Clubhouse Games' 51 Worldwide Classics, Fortnite, Kirby Fighters 2, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and Fitness Boxing 2 Rhythm and Exercise. Oh, it seems we have a tie. So Andy will break this award in half with his bare hands.
Award copy-pasting attack!
Well, that's even easier. Now we have two to give out. The first of our two awards goes to 51 worldwide games to be enjoyed from your clubhouse. I swear I read that right. The other award will be given by another Nintendad member. Tex, take it away. Again, bring it back. You gotta present that.
Hello and welcome to the Nintendad Awards. Allow me to present the award for Best Family Game to Animal Crossing New Horizons. Yeah, what a surprise. With 2020 being the year it is, we were all in need of our own happy island. And just like Nintendo had foreseen that, March 20 was the day we could begin to socially distance ourselves from real people while getting closer to anthropomorphic animals. Having to take care of relationships with virtual friends was no longer frowned upon, instead it was a way to keep your sanity. Also, meeting with real-life friends within the game was a way to hang out with them, at least if you were willing to submit yourself to the constant someone is arriving and someone is leaving interruptions. So, without further ado, thank you Animal Crossing for giving me hours of enjoyment while playing and hours of enjoyment while letting my kids devastate my island so I could have some moments of peace. Cheers.
Surprise! I'm back! Speaking of surprises, 2020 was a year in gaming where the few surprises that existed were huge. From games being delayed 100 times only to be garbage, to sudden announcements that Nintendo was releasing new games in 2 months, as well as this really awesome physical edition of Hyper Light Drifter I've been praying for is finally available. Buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it! But which announcement, event, or game was the biggest surprise? We're about to find out. This year's contenders are Steven Minecraft and Super Smash Bros., Fortnite, Cyberpunk 2077 was actually bad, the Age of Calamity announcement, the Origami King announcement, and April Fool's Day lasting an entire year. Check this out, we have another tie! Let me just... I swear, I didn't wake up this morning with these powers. They are a developing situation I'm not sure is bad yet. Anyway, one of these awards will go to Steve in Smash Ultimate. We welcome another Nintendad member to present the double of this award. Bring your hands together for Derek Wright.
The only one with a last name.
The winner of the biggest surprise shouldn't actually be a surprise if you know anything about the series this game pertains to, as it is a heavy hitter in many ways. What did surprise us is how out of nowhere this title was announced and decided upon releasing in the same year. Our biggest surprise goes to Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Not only was this title a sequel to the hugely successful Hyrule Warriors, but a prequel to the critical darling that is Breath of the Wild. This game could have easily rested on its laurels and just rehashed the same game as Hyrule Warriors with a new, wild skin. But it didn't. It reinvented the series with new and exciting characters, new mechanics, and loads of new and beloved Zelda tunes. Heck, even the story was a huge surprise. No spoilers. But if you haven't played it, well, frankly, that's an even bigger surprise.
Before we present our awards for our favorite indie game, our most anticipated game of 2021, and our coveted Game of the Year award, it's important that we take the time to recognize the bottom of the barrel of 2020.
Deeper than that.
The floor below the bottom of the barrel.
Still lower than that.
The dung from the dirt underneath the floor below the bottom of the barrel.
I prefer to make you go lower, but this joke has gone on long enough. It's time to present the award for biggest disappointment. It just makes me morose to read off the contenders for this award right now. So James is going to do it.
Hooray. Up for biggest disappointment in 2020 is Paper Mario: The Origami King. Rivali returning for any reason in any form at all, Fortnite, Nintendo's general handling of DLC, legacy content, and its online services, the scalping and shortages of next-gen consoles, and CD Projekt Red tricking millions into buying their broken game. We welcome another Nintendad member to the stage to give out this award, the Dinner of Disappointment doled out by Gareth. Take it away.
And the award goes to Nintendo's handling of Nintendo Switch Online. This was a unanimous decision by Nintendad and quite frankly a hilarious one. So let's look at what created this unanimous decision. Well, firstly, the Nintendo Switch Online advertises itself for online play. Well, the online play that's being offered is no better than competitors, and at times it's worse. Their voice chat function requires a separate app to be run on a separate device, rather than just being innately designed through the console, or the ability to use it through a Pro Controller, like competitors. And then let's just add to it the complexity of having to use different devices and proprietary codes in order for you to actually just invite somebody to play a game. It's not innate. You can't just click on a user's icon and go, "Can you join me in this game?" It's the lack of intuitiveness that just puts many people off from playing online in the first place. Let alone new people picking up a Switch for the very first time, having no idea how Nintendo works, maybe never even having a 3DS or a Wii U or a Wii before, just looking at it and going, well, why does this not work like Console X that I've had before? Then you have the biggest elephant in the room, although it's not really an elephant in the room because everybody talks about it, everybody points at it. The only people who consider it an elephant in the room are Nintendo themselves, who literally are holding their hands over their ears going, "We can't see an elephant in the room." The Nintendo Switch's version of the Virtual Console is bad. It's very nice to have free games, and it is very nice to feel like you are getting something for nothing, but we're already actually paying for it. And quite frankly, I already own multiple copies of Super Mario World. Enough to make my own Super Mario World. It would be awesome. However, what I don't want when I open up my Nintendo Switch Online to play the Nintendo Entertainment System games is Twinbee or Tecmo Bowl. I want to be able to play the games I played as a kid. I want to be able to play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes, it was bad, but I played it as a kid. I want to play that again. And yes, I realise that there are licensing issues behind games, which is why Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was taken off the Wii Virtual Console. I get that, but that's what I want. If you're going to give me a service that lets me play the games of my youth, I want to be able to play the games of my youth. I don't want two versions of Twinbee. Does anybody want two versions of Twinbee? That'd be an interesting question. And even the more recent offerings, particularly with the Nintendo Switch's offering for the Super Nintendo, are mediocre. We had Donkey Kong Country. Don't get me wrong, Donkey Kong Country was a nice addition, but it was a long time coming and didn't have anything else with it. It's being drip-fed to us too slowly, and what's being drip-fed to us is of quite poor quality. It's essentially Nintendo turning around and saying, "We have Virtual Console at home. This is the Virtual Console at home." The big thing that Nintendo needs to fix if they want NSO to go further. But they're not going to be that bothered about it, because they're making money from it. Cloud saves was a great addition. It was welcome, except for the fact that it came with rules and more complication. You can't use it for certain games, you can't use it to do certain things with certain games. And all of this was to stop people cheating. Nobody cares if somebody's got 99 million bells, apart from Tom Nook, because he hasn't got that 99 million bells in his own pocket. Any other incidences of cheating could be dealt with like any other console deals with incidences of cheating. Cloud saves, or restricting cloud saves, wasn't the way to go. The ability of having cloud saves was simply so that fans weren't going to lose all of the effort they'd put into some really fantastic games, simply because the console that they were using had become damaged. It just didn't need to be there. And then the last aspect of Nintendo Switch Online that Nintendo really pushed towards the end, because they knew the presentation up to that point had pretty much sold them the same product that they were already getting for free, with a couple of free NES games. So what special offers have we had? We've had the NES controllers that were actually quite nifty in that they can attach to the Switch controller and you can use them with the NES games, and I'm now running out of uses. And then we had the Super Nintendo controller, where you only get one of them, not two. Previously you got two. And this time you can use them with the SNES games, that's great, but there's no analog sticks, so you can't use them with most other games on the Switch. So is it just going to sit in a drawer until I want to play my Super Nintendo games? I mean, it might be useful for things like the Monster Hunter games, but not all of the games. But there are competitors' controllers that look almost exactly the same, and do more. Well, surely they can't be that expensive then if they're special off. No, they are stupidly expensive. They are far more money for far less product, and they are just there because they look nice. What other special offers? We've had Tetris 99, a game that was so popular in its free-to-play ability that you can now buy it in stores. It comes with a Nintendo Switch Online subscription, but you can still buy it in stores. And therefore not exclusive, because you can go out and buy it if you don't have NSO. And then they brought out the Mario version, which was really fun, but it's going away in March. And then they've had some other little bits, such as some spirit items in Smash Brothers, and they've had a free rug in Animal Crossing, and they've had some cosmetic items in Splatoon, but nothing major. Nothing that makes you think this is a special offer. The only thing that they have tried to pass off as a special offer isn't even available around the world. The best special offer that they've actually given is being able to buy the 2 Nintendo Switch digital vouchers, which was great for people who wanted an all-digital library, because it was often quite difficult to get discounted digital versions of games. You can search quite easily and get a physical copy, half price, store's got a sale on, but in the UK it's very difficult to get hold of digital versions of that now. But again, that's not available to everybody. The USA had that deal taken away from them, and so is it really a special offer if not everybody can get it anymore? So there you have it. Nintendo's biggest disappointment of 2020 is Nintendo's handling of Nintendo Switch Online. A service that is laggy, massively overcomplicated, really off-putting to new players, and offers very little to justify the added cost that comes with it.
Alright, now that James got all the negativity out of the way, let's jump right back into pools of positivity. The first of our final 3 awards is the Indie Darling Award. This was a hard one for the Nintendad Collective to decide on. There were so many great indie games this year. If you don't believe us, just look at the contenders. We have Shantae and the 7 Sirens, Sakuna of Rice and Ruin, Fortnite, Hades, and A Short Hike. Oh, and if you thought we were done with guests, you'd be wrong. We welcome another member of the Nintendadverse, Kevin, to present the Indie Darling of 2020 award. Kevin?
Can I talk to you about Hades? Let's talk about Hades. I have been dying to talk to you about Hades all day. Now, if there's something that anybody who has heard about Hades probably understands, is that the people who like it really don't like shutting up about it. And I'm going to tell you why, because, oh lordy, it's a good one. Never in my life have I played a game with as much style and polish in just every second of the game, until I picked up Hades. And let me tell you, it's probably the pinnacle of the roguelite experience. Now, Kevin, you might say, that seems like a bit of an overstatement. To which I would respond, shut up, you nerd. This game is perfect. And I'm telling you this as a guy who loves roguelites. And I've put no less than 200 hours into a collection of all of the greatest in the series. Enter the Gungeon, Dead Cells, A Robot Named Fight, 20XX, and so on. This is nothing short of the greatest game I have played in recent memory. This game has everything. The combat is just sublime and makes me cry because it feels so good. There's a banger of a soundtrack that reflects the actual hell you're going through. Memorable characters you end up growing close to and loving to pieces. A gigantic three-headed Cerberus you can pet and love. A super compelling story woven through the lens of helping everyone in the game get something they need. This game is so freaking good. Every time I play it, it's something different. I can understand the gameplay's still the same. I still get upgrades, beat the crap out of monsters, repeat process. But it just never gets old, and I cannot say that about a lot of the games in this genre. I just don't understand what black magic Supergiant put together to make this game as good as they did. Because I need them to do it again, and I need them to do it now.
Our second to last award on the docket is the most anticipated of 2021 award. An event we're looking forward to, a game, the eventual downfall of a certain monster company who abuses their devs and bases Christmas bonuses on Metacritic scores, all of it is up to receive this award. But only one of these eventual happenings can win. Let's go over the top contenders. We start with the last characters in Smash's DLC Pack 2, Hollow Knight Silksong updates, Breath of the Wild 2 updates, the mysterious time after March 31st, 2021.
Maybe there's nothing.
Maybe it's just Waluigi. Persona 5 Strikers, and Fortnite. Luckily, Nintendad offered up another voice of reason to present this award. Please welcome to the stage Mel of Nintendad.
Most anticipated game is one of those things that's a little hard to quantify. We're taking a big risk on this after all. We could end up getting ourselves sucked into the hype cycle that leads to disappointment, something we've seen a few times with high-profile projects over the past few years. Still, I think we here at Nintendad kind of speak for a lot of us when we say that our most anticipated Nintendo game for 2021 is Breath of the Wild 2. Age of Calamity will certainly tide some of us over, but how can you not be excited to return to the world that was the big show-stopping introduction to the Nintendo Switch for so many of us? There's not any guarantee that this game is going to be slated for 2021, of course, since information is so very, very scant. But hey, we can dream, right? All it took was being told that the game was in development and a quick teaser for all of us to latch onto this project. There's a lot for us to speculate on in the meantime until release, though. How much of the existing world is going to be used? What's going to be added? What role is Princess Zelda going to play now that she's been freed? What's up with the horror vibe in the teaser? And most importantly, is Nintendo going to make me go searching for 900 Korok seeds again? Hopefully we'll start getting some answers soon.
Finally, we come to the final award of this video before we officially declare 2020 over.
We don't have the authority to just declare it's over, you know.
James, I'm aware no such authority exists. You need not remind me of the things I have no control over. I'm only human, there's only so much authority I have, there's a button for it over there.
How on earth have I not noticed that?
I've been gesturing to it this whole time. I started by saying 2020 ends after this video.
There is no way I would know you were referring to a large red button I should have pressed by now.
That was the only way to hide it from you. Now on to something we can't hide, Nintendad's true actual game of the year.
There it is!
A widely debated topic among gamers is the best game of the year, but Nintendad had it. What? A unanimous vote on this? We all agreed on something? That's what happens when you work on a team of good-hearted video game fans that will score garbage like garbage and masterpieces as masterpieces. Okay, contender time.
A Short Hike.
Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered.
Pikmin 3 Remastered.
Bioshock Collection Remastered.
Fortnite.
Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, the winner. Revealed via question block. Oh, damn!
Animal Crossing New Horizons. There has been no game this year that was more needed than Animal Crossing New Horizons. The fact the world was heading into lockdown as the game came out probably helped, as this became the only way to see our friends again. Not only did it have online play like some previous installments, you could grab the friends and family you were quarantined with and all build things together. Designing furniture for one or all of your houses, upgrading Tom Nook's shop together, hunting tarantulas together. Scary. It's a game about togetherness, spreading joy, and celebrating yours and your neighbors' lives. New Horizons has become one of the best games you can snuggle up with at night for when you want to get away from the world for a while. It's a great game for single players, for multiple players, for friends across the internet, and for families stuck at home. In a unanimous vote, Nintendad would like to bestow our Game of the Year award upon Animal Crossing New Horizons. Oh, Andy, something to add?
All of my bones are broken.
Thank you everyone for tuning in for Nintendad's first ever Game of the Year awards. We hope you enjoyed our little show and will check us out on our website. Thank you to all the Nintendad members who donated their voices to this project. It meant a lot to be working alongside some of the coolest people I've met. Thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed our show. See you all in 2021.